everybody. My name is Emperor Palpatine. Here on the Geeky Pup Show again for The Bad Batch, Season 2, Episode 3. And joining me as always is the Empire Strikes Zach, or Star Wars Zach, for the evening.
Either one. I'm feeling very Imperial with this latest episode, so I'm going to stick with Empire Strikes Back.
You dirty imp.
What are you talking about? The Empire, they're the good guys. They want peace and order in the galaxy, if you believe their propaganda.
And for those of you that are tone deaf, he's being sarcastic. A little bit. So anyway, yes. You remember the last two episodes how I had one critique, and that was no Crosshair? Who's ready for a full 30 minutes of Crosshair?
I know when the episode is titled The Solitary Clone, you're like, I wonder who that's going to be about.
So yes, Crosshair is back on Coruscant, I believe, and he's just ready for a new mission. We actually get to see him with Rampart, who is our big bad currently. And he goes ahead and assigns Crosshair a mission, not on his own. He's no longer a team leader, which we know that Rampart doesn't fully trust him. Clone Force 99 is dead, at least officially. And thanks to Crosshair's information. So Rampart is still suspicious of him, but it's a very simple mission. They have to go to a planet. What's it called? Dexilla?
Dexus or Dexilla, something like that.
Yeah.
It was
and overthrow the government.
Yeah, it was a separatist planet during the war.
Yep.
And then the Empire is like, "Hey, you're under our jurisdiction." They're like, "No, we're not." So,
so who's going to be the team leader? That's the question. Who are we going to hook onto as well as Crosshair? Well, the answer comes to us in a very familiar form. The only difference is there's no yellow because color is not allowed in the Empire. Right. So it is Commander Cody. He's back.
Lives.
You can tell because he's got that little visor thing.
Yep.
That's the only way you can tell.
The only way you tell, he's got the little visor on his helmet thing. And then he takes off his helmet. And I like how Crosshair's like, "Oh, Commander Cody." I'm like, of course, he would be able to tell. I mean, all the clones look the same, but of course he'd be able to tell which one's which. But...
Wow. That sounds a little bit bigoted, Zachary.
All the clones look the same unless they have different haircuts.
Or they're Clone Force 99.
Rex has like a shaved head and Cody has like the crew cut, but then a lot of clones have the crew cut. So
yeah. He also has a scar on
like a distinct suit of armor. They almost all look the same. That's why they're called clones.
Yes, I know. I'm kidding you. But yes, Cody, he is leading the mission. He and Crosshair are pretty much the only two to really pay attention to. But they go and they're trying to rescue what's his name? Groton. What a name. I wonder if he's a good guy. No.
His parents really loved him.
Well, that was his last name.
Yeah, I know.
He was born with it.
What's his last name?
Yeah, no, his ancestors really. So basically, they get to the planet and they have to just fire away at battle droids. And there's a lot of great action in this episode. We get to see Cody and Crosshair. They work well together. Cody's a little surprised by some of Crosshair's tactics. But they ultimately are able to get inside. They have this really cool moment where they take a piece of like a mirror shard and they flip it. And he's able to fire a blaster bolt and hit the tactical droid that's going ahead and running the operation.
Yeah, the trick shots are a lot of fun to watch.
Yeah. I really do like Crosshair. He's one of the cooler ones in some of the worst ways. But we ultimately they come face to face with the leader of this planet. The I don't remember what their official title is supposed to be. Governor.
I think she was the governor. Yeah.
That doesn't really matter because she recognizes, okay, well, peace isn't an option. This is our place. We want to be independent, but the Empire, they are forcing their hands to hostile attacks to take over my planet, and that's not okay. And I'm going to have to fight against that. But Cody actually has a moment where he takes off the helmet, sets down the blaster, and he says, "Hey, listen. Now we can talk peace. Just let him go. If you let him go, we'll be able to resolve this peacefully." And she's convinced. Groton is let go, and in the first chance, he says, "Ah, very nice. Now execute her." And Cody is saying, "No, I listen. I promise something peaceful." And there's this intense moment, but well, Crosshair is there, and Crosshair has no such feelings.
No.
Shoots her down right then and there, and that's the end of mission. There's a moment here at the end where Cody gets to talk to Crosshair as they're looking at the wall of names. That goes ahead and lists, I guess, all the clones lost, right?
Yeah, it's like a battle memorial or something
Yep.
like that. It looks like any of the, like, if you ever see like one of those World War II or Korean War memorials with all the names, the clones have something like that. Yeah.
Yeah. Cody basically asks Crosshair, "Do you think where that this new empire, what we're serving, is the right thing to do?" And Crosshair says something to the effect, "We're soldiers. Good soldiers follow orders." And Cody goes ahead, looks at him, says, "You know what makes us different from battle droids, from clankers? We have a choice. We have free will. And we're able to recognize right and wrong." He walks away. Crosshair gets called back up to Rampart the next day, and he's no longer reporting to Commander Cody. Cody's gone AWOL. There's such gentle touches throughout this episode. At the beginning, whenever there's like an intense moment that Crosshair says that the Jedi are traitors, and Cody, he has like a Vietnam flashback for a second, and you can tell because it's all blurring around him.
You can tell he's thinking of shooting down General Kenobi on the lizard, on the giant dinosaur. Like, oh, what did I do?
Yeah, it goes ahead. I think everybody's been wanting to see more Cody. They wanted Cody after this and figure out what was going on with him. Well, he was serving the Empire for a little bit, but not long from the looks of it. So where does he go from here? That's a question.
That's a question.
I am unsure of what to make of Crosshair because this episode is just almost surreal because it's very carefully done. They want to make sure to highlight, look at Crosshair. He's alone. He doesn't have his group. He doesn't have anyone. He gets to bond with Cody a second, but Rampart at the end says something to the effects of, "Clones keep disappearing around you." And Crosshair, he's not happy about that. So it's just making me wonder how long is Crosshair going to last, and if, let's say, he goes AWOL, is anybody going to accept him? Because he has gone to an edge, and he may not see it as that, but I mean, shooting down someone who was promised peace, it's not.
That's a pretty big step towards one side of the.
I mean, Groton had rotten in his name. You know what to expect from him, but
right.
I suppose a man that talks like this has his fate set.
Yep.
So just follow
Yeah, it was certainly interesting because yeah, as you're starting out the episode, like he is pretty much alone. Like even the other clones that are still in the Empire, even they don't really want to sit with him or be around him. So it's like this guy really doesn't have anything going for him staying in the Imperials. Like it makes more sense for him to go AWOL and go back and join his old unit because
It would
maybe
have.
they would at least welcome him back. He's getting the cold shoulder everywhere with the Empire, but he stays with the Empire because
Good soldiers follow orders.
the soldiers follow orders. Exactly. So there was one line though. It was right on what you were talking about with Commander Cody, where he's like, "Clones have free will. We get to choose, like make a choice." But then he also says at the end, like, we have to live with those choices, whereas battle droids don't have to. I
Yeah.
thought that was a really good line too, because you could tell because at different times I think you see Cody throughout the episode, and you're like, he kind of is almost like, oh, maybe I'm not on the right side here. Like especially when Groton is trying to get him to execute the governor. Like,
I think this might be, and I know it's early and we just got it. This might be one of my favorite episodes, just
this
because of how people will say about the Clone Wars. Oh well, yes, it was on the Cartoon Network. It was aimed, quote unquote, towards kids.
yeah.
But there's a lot of mature stuff here. This is one
Oh,
of the most grown-up episodes of the Bad Batch.
absolutely. And it's not, I guess you could say it's subtle, but like I don't think so. I think it's not. I mean, it's not as subtle as other episodes, I guess, are. But I mean, yeah, it's very clearly got like this whole
Wait.
weight to it, and like this maturity and this theme of like what it means to be a soldier and fight for an army or a nation or something like that.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's
And
it's
when
definitely got one of them. Yeah,
Yeah,
it's a very
and where's your line? Where does something to push you to a breaking point?
yeah.
And Crosshair hasn't reached that, but Cody has. Cody's done.
Yep.
And now he is no longer following orders. Where does he go from here? But next week, I'm pretty sure we're going to jump back to the Bad Batch. I think Crosshair is going to. Maybe we'll keep doing this, keep splitting up until they are able to confront each other, maybe towards the middle of the season. But it's such a good episode. I'm very, very happy with it.
Yeah. And this is only the third episode. It's really early in the season. So yeah, it's really good. Filoni brought his A game on this one for sure.
Doesn't he always?
That's true.
Even in crappy shows like Book of Boba Fett. He's bringing his A game everywhere he goes. He makes the best out of the worst situation. But that we're going to have to wait until next week to see where we go from here. But we really enjoyed this. But we want to hear your thoughts. So if you are watching The Bad Batch, leave a comment down below. If you're not watching The Bad Batch, you're depriving yourself of good Star Wars.
Yeah, you should probably give it a try.
That's right. Plus, how can you go wrong with Omega? No Omega in this one. Make sure to also like and subscribe. It helps out the channel. We'll be back next week, of course. Same batch time, same batch channel.
I like that.
And until then, thank you, and may the Force be with you.
Bye.
Bye!